Welcome to the Sci-Fi Continuum. I'm Stan, your narrator. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more stories. Ren Voss stared at the blinking warning on his cockpit console. The cargo freighter Sable 13 drifted helplessly between the glittering spires of the Gildan metropolis and a field of meteoroids that looked like someone had tossed a handful of neon marbles into space. The engines coughed. Ren didn't. He couldn't afford repairs or panic. Ren sighed. He had spent the last 3 months hauling illegal crystal spice from the outer rim to the megapolis, hoping the next payment would finally cover the loan shark's interest. Instead, he was stuck in a dead-end orbit, his cargo bay full of a glitter that no one wanted, and his stomach growling louder than the ship's engine. He pressed a button, and the static-filled transmission came through. All units, this is Dockmaster Selk. Any stray freighters, you're cleared for an emergency dock. Come in. Ren raised his hands half-heartedly, and the docking clamp clanged shut. He leaned back, trying not to think about the mountain of debt that waited for him on the other side of the gate. The docking bay opened to a wash of neon, the kind of light that tried to convince visitors they were richer than they were. Ren squinted past it toward the endless towers and traffic, and he entered the city. He immediately knew 2 things about Gildan. It never slept, and it would absolutely overcharge him. Suddenly, a woman was moving towards him. She was unmistakably Gildan, tall, blue skin. Her reddish-brown hair fell in waves around a carefully shaped face, and she looked at him as if he were already part of a story she intended to enjoy. One finger hovered near her lips, a habit that suggested either secrets or trouble. "Human visitor?" she asked, voice low, velvety, with a slight metallic echo. "I'm Mila of the Gildan Elite. You look tired." Ren swallowed. "I'm Ren. I just landed." He tried to sound confident, even though his ship's hull looked like it had survived a bar fight with an asteroid. Mila smiled, a grin that showed a flash of sharp, pearly teeth. "You've been hauling something very interesting, I hear. I have a proposition that could make this night unforgettable." Ren glanced back at his ship. "I'm broke, Miss Mila." He gestured at his cramped cockpit, at the cracked console that held the last of his credits. She laughed, a sound that seemed to echo off the neon walls. "I'm not interested in your credits, Ren. I'm interested in you. I own a suite in the Celestial Pleasure Dome. I promise you a night you'll never forget. In return, I only ask one thing, a little honesty." Ren raised an eyebrow. "What kind of honesty?" Mila's finger slipped from her lips, her eyes sparkling. "Tell me, how long do humans usually last?" Ren smirked, trying to mask the tremor in his voice. "Long enough to make a name for themselves, long enough to impress a Gildan." She tilted her head, the hoop earrings glinting. "I'll take your word for it. Follow me." The streets of the Gildan metropolis were a river of light. Neon pink ran alongside electric blue and flickering holographic signs. He followed Mila, his boots clicking against the polished metal walkway. Mila led him to a towering glass building that pulsed with a soft violet hue. A hollow sign above the entrance read, "Celestial Pleasure Dome. Your night, your fantasy." A smooth silver door slid open as they approached. Inside, the lobby was a cathedral of light. A holographic concierge floated at the desk, eyes flickering with data. Mila tapped the console and a gentle chime sang. "Suite 7A, exclusive. We have privacy." Ren followed her up an elevator that seemed to glide on a cushion of magnetic fields. The doors opened onto a hallway lined with transparent walls that revealed the city's skyline. The suite door opened with a whisper, revealing a space that looked like a private oasis in the middle of a neon jungle. The room was dim, walls covered in soft, dark fabric that drank the light. A large, round bed sat in the center, draped in silken sheets that seemed to shift color with the room's mood lighting. Mila turned, her eyes meeting Ren's. "So," she said, "we are alone." Ren felt an electric charge run through his spine. Mila's hand hovered near Ren's chest, her finger tracing a line down his shirt. "Tell me again," she said, voice low. "How long do humans usually last?" Ren clenched his fists, his jaw set. "Enough," he answered, his tone firm. "Long enough to make an impact." She tilted her head, a playful smile curling her lips. "Then let's make an impact." Ren's mind raced. He had never been with an alien before, never imagined his own body could cause a reaction like a solar flare. He took a deep breath, steadying himself. The kiss started tentative and didn't stay that way. Their bodies met, the silken sheets sliding away as they explored each other. Mila's blue skin brushed against Ren's rough, scar-torn shirt. Their movements synced, and the room filled with the sound of shared breath. Their rhythm grew faster, a dance of heat and desire. At the height of their passion, Ren felt a surge of power in his core. He pressed harder, his thrust sending a pulse through Mila's body. For a moment, her eyes widened, and a bright flare of blue light burst from her eyes, like a star exploding in a crystal. She gasped, a sound that turned the air electric. Her pleasure receptors, tuned to respond to the slightest stimulus, overloaded. The feedback loop between them was instantaneous. She felt a wave of ecstasy that seemed to swallow the very fabric of the room. Ren watched, eyes wide as her body glowed for a heartbeat, then settled into a soft sigh. She lay back panting, a smile blooming across her lips. "Wow," she whispered, voice trembling with delight. "I have never felt that. You are dangerous." Ren laughed, a low, breathy chuckle. "Dangerous? I think you're the one who's dangerous. You have a way of amplifying everything." She lifted a hand, fingertips hovering over his chest. "You made me the happiest I've ever been." Her voice softened. "You humans are amazing." Ren nodded, feeling a mixture of pride and alarm. He had just turned a night of pleasure into a scientific anomaly. The next morning, the neon city awoke with a buzz. Holographic billboards flickered, broadcasting news, entertainment, and the latest gossip. In the Pleasure Dome's staff lounge, Mila sat at a polished table, a glass of iridescent liquid swirling in her hand. She leaned toward her friend, a sleek Gildan with silver feathers on her head. "You won't believe what happened last night," Mila said, her left finger still lifted to her lips teasingly. "I was with a human. He short-circuited my receptors. I've never felt such bliss." Her friend's eyes widened. "What? That's unprecedented. Who is he?" Mila smirked. "Just a cargo pilot in a bit of trouble, I hear. He's a legend now, whether he likes it or not." The lounge door whispered shut behind her friend. Mila kept smiling for a moment longer, out of habit more than feeling. Then the expression slipped away, leaving her face strangely bare. Gildans did not repeat stories. They circulated them. Her gaze drifted to the nearest screen, watching advertisements scroll past in elegant spirals of light. Information moved through the metropolis the way air moved through lungs. Breathed in, priced, breathed out again. She replayed her own words in her head. Human, bliss, unprecedented. Mila's stomach tightened. Ren's tired eyes surfaced in her memory. The relief in his shoulders when she promised privacy. The small trust of a stranger who had nothing else left to lose. Mila didn't leave the lounge. She stood perfectly still, eyes fixed on the nearest holoscreen as its feeds cycled through market reports, celebrity scandals, and shipping alerts. Around her, patrons laughed and argued and flirted, unaware that something had already begun moving beneath the city's glittering surface. Maybe her friend wouldn't repeat it. Maybe the story was too strange to sell. Maybe Ren would remain exactly what he had been last night, a tired pilot who got lucky and would leave unnoticed. The screen chimed again. A new banner forced the other feeds aside. Mila's breath caught before she even read it. The news spread like a hyperwave. Within hours, holofeeds across the galaxy flashed the headline, "Human pilot sparks Gildan sensation. Lethal lover claims victim's ecstasy." Commentators debated. Scientists wanted to study the phenomenon. Bounty hunters plotted capture. A small, wiry alien with a multi-armed rig announced a $500,000 reward for the pilot's capture. Ren, still in his cramped cabin, stared at the open transmission window flashing the news. He felt a sudden chill. "Great," he muttered. "Now I'm wanted for pleasure." Mila reached the cockpit and stopped at the threshold. Ren hadn't noticed her. He was leaning toward the console, squinting at the incoming transmission with the baffled focus of someone still deciding whether the situation was serious or merely absurd. For a moment he was calm, She could still give him that truth, clean and immediate, before fear attached itself to it. Her throat tightened. If she told him now, the first thing he would understand about her would be that she had been the one to hand him to the galaxy. Mila's hand curled slightly against the doorframe. The words rose, ready. I told someone. She swallowed them. Ren. Mila entered the cockpit, her eyes bright with determination. Ren, she said, the galaxy is buzzing about you. You've become a target. They'll try to study you, maybe kill you, or sell your DNA to the highest bidder. He stared at her, the weight of his newfound fame pressing down. What do we do? Mila placed a hand on his shoulder. I'll help. My connections run deep. We'll hide you. We'll move you onto my private ship. You'll be safe and we can figure this out together. Ren nodded, the fire in his chest reigniting. All right, let's get out of here. Mila's private cruiser, the Velvet Comet, hovered beyond the city's skyport. It was a sleek vessel, its hull a deep midnight black with silver veins that pulsed like veins of a living creature. The interior was intimate, low lighting, comfortable pods, a small galley that smelled faintly of the clean scent of recycled air. Mila guided Ren to a hidden berth, a small pod with a hammock that swayed gently. You'll stay low, she whispered. We'll use my contacts to forge a new identity. You'll be known as Ren. No last name, just Ren. Ren settled into the hammock, feeling the ship's gentle vibrations. What about the bounty? Mila tapped a holoscreen on the console. A map of the galaxy lit up, with red dots marking bounty hunters, scientific teams, and corporate agents. She pointed at a cluster of red on the outskirts of the Andromeda sector. They're coming for you, she said, but we have a route that avoids the busiest lanes. We'll slip through the nebula of Karith, then hop to the quiet mining colony of Tris 7. Ren stared at the map. That's a long ride. Mila smiled, the finger to her lips returning. Patience, Ren. We'll have time. The cruiser slipped out of the city's glow, entering the black of deep space. A few days later, they docked at Tris 7, a barren world of rust-colored dunes and wind chimes that sang with each gust. Mila introduced Ren to the colony's leader, a gruff but kind-hearted alien named Threx. Ren's a friend, Mila said. He's helped us out of a sticky situation. He'll keep a low profile. Threx grunted, then clapped Ren on the shoulder. Welcome. You got a room, a job, and a drink. Anything else you need? Ren smiled. Just a chance to stay alive. Word of Ren's arrival spread among the miners, but the bounty hunters never found him. Soon, Mila's contacts had erased all traces. Ren spent his days repairing old mining rigs. Mila visited often. Their bond grew from flirtation to something deeper. They laughed at the absurdity of their meeting, a down-on-his-luck human and an elegant alien elite who had once turned the galaxy's attention to his bedroom performance. One evening, as twin moons rose over the dunes, Mila sat beside Ren on the roof of his modest cabin. The sky was a tapestry of stars, brighter than any city neon. You know, Mila said, I never thought a human could cause that kind of reaction. I never thought my people could reach that level of pleasure. Ren turned to her, his eyes reflecting the moons. Maybe we're not so different. Maybe we're both looking for something that makes us feel alive. Ren, there's something I never told you. He shifted slightly beside her. That sounds serious. It is. The wind moved softly over the metal roof. She let it pass before continuing. The bounty hunters, the scientists, all of it. A pause. It didn't begin with them. Ren frowned. What do you mean? Mila clasped her hands together to keep them still. It began with a story, she said quietly. One I told. Silence settled between them, not hostile, just waiting. I spoke to a friend the morning after we met. I thought it was private, absurd, something that would stay between two people sharing a drink. Her voice thinned. I forgot what my people do with wonders. We don't keep them. A breath. We circulate them. She finally looked at him. You trusted me with a moment. I turned it into a market. The words seemed to take effort now that they were real. I didn't know it would grow that large, but I knew it could spread, and I spoke anyway. She stood, giving him space rather than taking it. If you want to leave, I won't stop you. A faint, humorless smile. I've already taken enough choices from you. Ren didn't answer immediately. The wind moved across the roof, carrying the thin metallic chime of the colony's towers. He looked out over the dunes rather than at her. You know, he said at last, I kept trying to figure out why you helped me. Mila said nothing. At first I thought you just liked danger. Then I thought you liked me. A small breath escaped him. Didn't occur to me you were trying to fix something. Her hands tightened slightly at her sides. I was, she said quietly. Another pause. Shorter this time. Ren shifted, turning toward her instead of away. You made a mistake, he said. A big one. Mila lowered her gaze. Yes. He studied her a moment longer, then reached out and took her hand. But you stayed, he added. Most people who ruin my life don't volunteer for the repair job. Only then did he pull her gently down beside him. She rested her head against his shoulder, carefully, as if the permission might still be revoked. You're more than a legend, Ren, she said softly. You're real. Ren gave a quiet chuckle. I'm just a pilot who got lucky. His thumb brushed the back of her hand. A very lucky pilot. They stayed like that until the night grew cold, the air crisp above the dunes. In that moment, the galaxy felt distant, its gossip and bounties reduced to a fading hum. Months passed. Ren's reputation faded from the galaxy's radar, replaced by rumors that the lethal lover had vanished into the void. The bounty hunters gave up, their ledgers showing empty entries. Mila, using her influence, secured a small but comfortable plot of land on Tris 7 for them. They built a house from reclaimed metal, vines of luminous algae climbing the walls. Inside, the air was warm, the lights soft. The bedroom was modest, a large, comfortable bed draped in silken sheets that shifted color with their mood. One night as they lay together, Mila turned to Ren and whispered, I have a question. Ren raised an eyebrow. What now? She smiled, the finger to her lips returning. How long do you think we'll last? Ren laughed, the sound echoing in the quiet room. Long enough for us to keep making the galaxy jealous. She pressed a kiss to his forehead. I think that's perfect. The couple fell asleep, the planet's gentle wind singing a lullaby outside. Their future was uncertain, but they had each other, a home far from the neon glare, and a story that would one day be told in hushed tones across bar tables on distant stations. Ren had started as a down-on-his-luck cargo pilot, chased by the galaxy's curiosity. He ended as a legend, not for the danger he posed, but for the love he found in an unexpected corner of the universe. The night sky above Tris 7 glimmered, and somewhere far in the bustling metropolis of Gildan, a holoscreen flickered with a news flash. Mysterious alien pilots vanish. Experts puzzled. No one knew that Ren and Mila were the ones behind the mystery, living peacefully under twin moons, sharing laughter, love, and a secret that made them the most wanted and happiest couple in the galaxy. And so the night of his life turned into a lifetime of moments, each one brighter than the neon lights that once chased him. The galaxy would keep whispering about the lethal lover, but Ren didn't care. He had found his own peace, his own home, and a love that would outlast any bounty.